a string you might use when you're flying a kite. Chim chimney, chim chim, chiree chim chom.
Those wildebeest have run away from me for the last time.
And who gets stuck with the children with no nanny in the house? Me, that's who.
I've said my say, Mrs. Brill. I've done with this house forever.
Well, good riddance then. And mind you don't stumble on your way out.
Where is she going? What on earth am I going to say to Mr. Banks?
What is all this commotion? Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of the household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all your domain, whilst I remain the sovereign of Cherry Tree Lane. Count! Nanny, Wilfred, you have engaged 6 nannies in the past 4 months, and they've all been unqualified disasters. A nanny should govern, a nanny should rule. A nanny is a paragon who suffers no fool. A nanny's a stalwart our children would gain by having such a nanny in Cherry Tree Lane. Briefcase, umbrella.
If only we could find someone like your old nanny.
A few women alive could manage Miss Andrews' standards of efficiency. Besides, we could never afford someone of her caliber. Now, place an advertisement in the Times stating that Jane and Michael Banks require the best possible nanny at the lowest possible wage.
Father, we've written our own advertisement.
What on earth?
Please, George, I think we should hear it. If you want this choice position, have a cherry disposition, rosy cheeks, no warts. That's the plot I put in. Play games, all sorts. You must be kind, you must be witty, very sweet and very pretty.
I love all the ridiculous.
George, please. Take us on outings, give us treats. Sing songs, bring sweets. We won't hide your spectacles so you can't see. Put toads in your bed or pepper in your tea. Hurry, nanny, many thanks, sincerely, Jane and Michael Banks.
That's enough Tommy rot for one day. Now, would you please go to the nursery and let me get to work?
They were only trying to help.
Won't help anyone to make me late. Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of the household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all your domain, whilst I remain the sovereign.
You remain the sovereign
of Cherry Tree.
Good morning.
Yes?
I've come in answer to the advertisement.
What advertisement? We haven't placed any advertisement.
Now, let's see. Play games all sorts, which I most certainly can. Take us on outings, give us treats.
Michael, it's our advertisement.
Rosy cheeks and fairly pretty.
There's no objection on that score, I hope.
Oh, not at all. Huh?
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
But, oh, take that up with Mrs. Banks. She is responsible for all that sort of side of things. Anything domestic has nothing to do with me. And don't forget the, references.
I make it a point never to give references.
Oh, I see.
I'll see the children now.
Of course.
You'll find they're very nice children. Now this is Mary Poppins. Jane, don't stare. And Michael, shut your mouth. We are not a codfish. Let's move forward. Spit spot.
Mrs. Brill, we have a new nanny. she passed her interview then. Or I did.
A very tidy nursery, I must say. Tidier than I was expecting. And who's responsible for that?
Mrs. Me. I am. I like to keep things neat.
Do you indeed? Well, I look forward to making use of that. There's one thing I appreciate. It's a child whose word I can depend on. Now, first things first. I always say the best place to hang a hat is on a hat stand.
There's nothing in it. We'd better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky. Mary Poppins, how could you know what we wanted in a nanny when we made our list?
Your list are not an item in the weekly shop.
How did you come then? It was as if the wind just blew you here.
It did. Now, stand over there. A noisy, mischievous, troublesome little boy.
You're making that up. A noisy, mischievous, troublesome...
Now you. Thoughtless, short-tempered, and untidy.
I don't believe you. Let me see. Let's go to your measurements, Mary Poppins.
I'm practically perfect in every way.
Practically perfect.
So people say. Each virtue virtually knows no bound. Each trait is great and patently sound. I'm practically perfect from head to toe. If I had a fault, it would never dare to show. I'm so practically perfect in every way. Now, perhaps you have a few questions.
Not temperamental.
Never.
Not grouchy or gruff.
The very thought.
Will you stay tender when the going gets tough?
Quite the contrary.
Do you read stories without a big fuss?
Mm-hmm.
Or have objections to playing with us?
Some minor improvements may not go amiss, but at all times you must remember this. I like games, but I choose them.
That's not fair!
I didn't say I was fair. I said I was practically perfect. And here's my aim. By the time I leave here, you both will be the same. You will be practically perfect.
Practically perfect. You will be practically perfect in every way.
Now, best foot forward, spit spot.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. I does what I likes and I likes what I do. Today I'm a scriber, and as you can see, a scriber's an artist of highest degree. And it's all me own work from me own memory. Stay right where you are. I'd know that silhouette anywhere. Mary Poppins!
It's nice to see you, Beth.
I must say, you do look so well.
He can't know you. You've only just arrived.
I wasn't born 1 minute before I walked into your house, Michael Banks. Have you met these two, Beth?
I've seen them running about, chasing a kite.
It isn't a real kite.
So, what are you two up to?
Mary Poppins says it's a game. It's called A Walk in the Park. Some game? I'd rather eat spinach.
Come along, Beth.
He can't come with us. He's too dirty, and we don't want to go to the stinky park anyway.
Oh, yes, you do. Because when you walk with Mary Poppins, you go to places you never dreamed of. All that it takes is a spark. Then something as plain as a park becomes a wonderland. All you have to do is look on you, then you'll understand. Why, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light.
Oh, really?
When the day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright.
You keep talking nonsense,
Oh,
then.
happiness is blooming all around her. The daffodils are smiling at the dawn.
greatest
When
idea.
Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
You've enough brass for all of us.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Come on, you two.
Boring, just like how the nanny's thinking. Parks are good for us. It's just statues, ducks, and grannies. I don't understand all the fuss. Is she doing it to spite us? We could lose her for a look. Perhaps it's all a plot. I'll tell you what, she seems so different, but I bet she's not. There is nothing to excite us in the park. What was that?
You're quite wrong, you know. When you take a walk with Mary, anything can happen.
What? Who are you?
I'm Nelius, and I've waited half a century to take a walk on a sunny day like this. Each man out with his dog will stand agog to see a statue take a gentle jog.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light. When the day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine bright. Oh, happiness is blooming all around her.
The daffodils are smiling at the door.
When Mary holds your hand, you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love.
No wonder that it's
Mary that we love.
Jane, did that really happen? Yes, but how?
Mary Poppins, of course.
But how did she make it happen?
Anything can happen if you let it.
Mary Poppins, how long will you stay?
We'll see.
Mary Poppins, you won't leave us, will you?
I'll stay until the wind changes. Now run along in.
and Michael want to say goodnight.
Tell them you've given the message.
George, please.
Oh, Daddy, we've had a fantastic day. We sang with the busker and danced to the statue. You wouldn't have approved, but...
If you know that, why would you do it?
Daddy, could I have a kite? A proper one?
Could you fly it?
You could always teach me.
And when would I have time to do that? Now, would you please let me get on? Good night.
Poor Michael. All he cares about is flying kites.
I used to love flying kites at his age. But then my nanny, Miss Andrews, soon frightened me out of it.
Is it out of the question to do without a nanny?
Don't be absurd. All the best people have nannies. So the wives can do charity work and entertain. Which reminds me, how is the tea party coming on?
I'm not sure. It just seems so odd sending out invitations to people I hardly know.
But the people you should know, remember. By your friends shall ye be judged.
But that's the point, they're not my friends.
Winifred, dearest, I'm only thinking of you. Are you going to say something to Mary Poppins about this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Very well. Just make sure she's doing things our way and not hers.
Winds do change, tides can turn, sink or swim, see what you learn. Me, I was told when I was small, just learn a trade, so I learned 'em all. Chim chimney, chim chim cheree.
Mrs. Brill, what about the cake?
It's just out of the oven and too hot to be iced. Or touched, for that matter.
Are you quite sure you know how to ice it?
Quite sure. And in case you're worried, I have not been exchanged by the fairies for a total nincompoop.
Ah, I'll just go check on the drawing room.
I'd like to be helpful. I'd like to be rich, but Destiny thought otherwise.
Mother wants you in the drawing room. She says you can tell Robert and I what to do.
Does she indeed?
Please, Mrs. Brill, I don't mind. Honest.
All right, I'll give you one task and one task only. Put the icing tools next to the cake. Do you think you can manage that?
Is that all?
For you, yes. For me, no. I swear, a slave in ancient Rome was on a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house.
Michael, why don't we make the icing?
Because we don't know how.
Don't be so feeble. Get the eggs in the flour.
Are there eggs in icing?
There aren't mine. Roberts and I, bring me the cake.
Mrs. Brill, go up and get ready now.
What have you done? Roberts and I, oh dear, should I call a doctor?
I don't think that will be necessary, ma'am.
Children, you know how important my party is. You deserve some very nasty medicine. Just wait till bedtime.
Oh, I don't think we should wait until then, ma'am. Why not go up and get ready? We'll clear up, won't we?
But we're not ill. I won't take it, and you can't make me.
And in that, as in so many things, your information is faulty. Open.
It's strawberry ice.
I'm not sure I like strawberry ice.
Well, I'm not sure I care. Open.
Lime cordial.
Now, let's get started. Michael, I know how you like to keep things neat. Jane?
I told you she was tricky.
Must we? Can't Roberts and I do it once he wakes up?
With that attitude, you'll get through a lot of stuff before you're old. Besides, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap. The job's a game. And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake. A lark,
a spring, it's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Oh, my point exactly. The honeybees that fetch the nectar from the flower to the comb never tire of ever buzzing to and fro, because they take a little nip from every flower that they sip, and hence they find their task is not a grind. For a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Right yourselves, spit spots. Up we go, Roberts and I.
Mary Poppins, you're a miracle worker.
How did you get them to do it?
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way, in the most delightful way.
We'll be off now, ma'am. Come along, spit spot.
I'm sorry, ma'am. Apparently these came this morning and Roberts and I forgot to give them to you. They're apologies, ma'am, from your guest. They're not coming. None of them.
Oh, do you think we chose the wrong day?
No, ma'am. I think you asked the wrong people.
In a most delightful way.
Mary Poppins, where are we going today?
I thought we could play our next game.
That's not
A visit to the game.
That's not a game. Did Daddy agree? If you did, you must have put the idea into his head somehow.
What an impertinent thing to say. Me putting ideas into other people's heads, really.
Precision and order, cogs in a wheel, opening a ledger, closing a deal, prudent investment, financial sense, a perfect ray of sunshine, shillings and pence.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Thanks so much. I see Mr. Von Hustler's coming in again today. Have you made your decision?
I believe so, sir.
Good, good. Just be sure it's the right one.
Credit or debt, sheets of all balance, targets on net.
Mr. Banks, what objections can you have? My security is more than adequate, and Latin America is an expanding market. Have you no courage?
Yes, Mr. Van Hassel, but what I haven't been able to grasp is what exactly is the final product?
What do you think? Money, of course.
Yes, money, but making money out of money, I want to...
Are you man enough to be a banker?
Have you come to your decision, Mr. Banks? There's a town of good people whose future depends on you.
I know that.
The factory could be up and running in weeks and expanding before the year's out. Please, Mr. Banks, I'd give it everything I've got.
I believe you, Mr. Northbrook, and I've tried to find a way, but how can I be sure the money would be safe?
What about my workforce? They'll make it safe.
My men have dreams to earn an honest living, a wife and kids, a home to call their own. If you'd invest in us today, it paves the way. I promise we'd repay the loan.
I'm sorry, Mr. Northbrook, but I just...
Hello, Daddy.
What on earth are you doing here? Can't you see I'm busy?
No, we're done. And no man should be too busy for his own children. What are you two here for? Have you come for some money as well?
Hardly. What would they need money for?
Well, it's never too early to learn its value. Here.
I know the value of this. 6 pence.
No, that's its worth. Its value is in how you spend it. Do good, may you have good luck.
What do you say to Mr. Northbrook?
Thank you.
I'll wait outside.
You know, when I was a boy, I would never have dared interrupt my father.
Were you ever a little boy?
Of course. And my nanny, Miss Andrews, kept me out of my father's way.
What about your mother?
And I shouldn't think I saw either of them more than once a week.
Then who kissed you goodnight? Miss Andrew?
Certainly not. We had no time for hugs and kisses and all that soppy nonsense.
Poor Daddy. When did you invest the bank's money? What are you looking for, Daddy? A good man or a good idea?
And I suppose I should say a good idea. But a good man is much rarer and much more valuable.
Come along, children.
Mr. Von Hassler, I've considered your arguments and I'm afraid my answer is no.
So you don't recognize a good idea?
Perhaps not, but I recognize a good man when I see one.
You will regret this, Mr.
A
Big.
man has dreams that life hasn't broken. A man has hopes, ambitions to fulfill. A man you're certain at first glance deserves a chance. Mr. Von Northbrook, when exactly can we get your new factory open?
Well, thank you, sir. You won't regret this.
Feed the birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag.
Does that horrible woman?
Don't point. And for your information, she's not in the least horrible.
But she's just a bundle of rags.
When will you learn to look past what you see?
Early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman comes. In her own special way to the people she calls. Come buy my bags full of crumbs. Come feed the little birds, show them you care, and you'll be glad if you do. Their young ones are hungry, their nests are so bare. All it takes is tuppence from you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag, tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag. Feed the birds, that's what she cries, while overhead her birds fill the skies.
Here, one bag, please.
Though her words
Hello, Mary. Hello, kids.
Hello. We're off to Mrs. Corey's talking shop. Care to join us?
Talking shop. Who's Miss Corey?
Who's Miss Corey? Mrs. Corey is the oldest woman in the world. She talked to William before he went a-conquering, to Vlad before he went impaling, and to Alexander before he went so great.
That's impossible.
Anything is possible if you let it.
Well, if it isn't Mary Poppins and Jane and Michael Banks.
She knows us?
And how is poor little Georgie?
Who?
Your father. He used to give his nanny the slip and come to my shop in secret. I remember he used to love my gingerbread stars. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Well, I did want an ounce of conversation.
Oh, I'm out of conversations. Fresh out of words, too. Ooh, I do have some letters.
Well, let's see what words can we make.
Raptoplex.
Lopatophorus.
Those don't count. You made them up.
Well, where do you think words came from in the first place? Somebody had to make them up.
Now remember, we can always use the same letter twice. Now let's see. Super, califragilistic, expialidocious.
That's not a word.
Of course it's a word, and unless I'm much mistaken, I think it's a rather useful one. When trying to express oneself, it's frankly quite absurd to leaf through lengthy lexicons to find the perfect word. A little spontaneity keeps conversation keen. You need to find a way to say precisely what you mean. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Diddle 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 lie, diddle 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 lie.
But it doesn't mean anything.
Stone Age men were chatting, simply grunting would suffice.
Though if they had this word, they might have used it once or twice.
I'm sure the Roman Empire only entered the abyss because those Latin scholars never had a word like this.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you say it softly, the effect can be hypnosis. Check your breath before you speak in case it's halitosis.
Yeah.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Diddle 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 lie, diddle 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 lie, diddle 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 lie, diddle 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 lie.
You know, you can say it backwards, which is pseudocodali, pexasyllagar, filocrepis.
She may be tricky, but she's bloody good.
So when the cat has got your tongue, there's no need for dismay. Just summon up this word and then you've got a lot to say.
Pick out those 18 consonants and 16 vowels as well, and put them in an order which is very hard to spell.
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D-O-C-I-O-U-S
Smarty pants. S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-X-P-I-A-L-I-D-O-C-I-O-U-S S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-X-P-I-A-L-I-D-O-C-I-O-U-S. Here we go! Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound Supercalifragilistic.
Supercalifragilistic.
Supercalifragilistic. Supercalifragilistic.
George, what on earth are you doing home so early? Is everything all right?
No, everything's all wrong. After I refused to loan the bank's money to some German chap, he went to our chief rivals. They gave him the money and now it looks set to be a gold mine.
Oh, they can't expect you to get it right every time.
That's exactly what they expect.
Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough.
That's more than not enough. Go to your room. Mary Poppins, you are here to teach the children manners. And just look at them.
George, you're tired. Mary Poppins, perhaps you could occupy the children in the nursery tonight.
That's not fair. Daddy loses his temper and we're shut up in the nursery. Daddy's mean and rotten and I hate him.
Jane, take that back this instant. I will not have you criticize your father. Take the children upstairs, please, Mary Poppins. George, if you have troubles, I'd like to share them.
Don't worry, you will. I've been suspended for 3 months until they decide what to do with me.
Twists and turns, ups and downs. One moment smiles, next moment frowns. Bad-tempered faces had better change quick, 'cause if the wind changes, the face might just stick. Chim chimney, chim chim, chiree chim charoo.
Why does Daddy get so cross? Fathers are supposed to look after their children, not yell at them all the time.
Maybe. But have you asked yourself who looks after the fathers when things go wrong?
The mothers, I suppose.
Not the children.
Wouldn't that be rather upside down?
Well, sometimes families are upside down. For a while, anyway.
Well, I don't want to be in an upside-down family. I wish I could run away. Why don't you? But you'd miss me. No, I wouldn't.
All right, that's enough, you two. Now into bed.
Oh, Mary Poppins, I wish you'd just leave us alone.
Careful for the things you wish for.
Don't you ever stop.
You should govern your temper, or your temper will govern you.
I'm tired of your stupid sayings and your stupid games.
Just get into bed.
Well, I won't go to sleep, and you can't make me.
And in that, as in so many things,
Your information
is faulty. Playing the game, having a ball. Those who won't play shan't play at all. Will we meet again? Maybe when they've learned to play the game.
Up where the smoke is all billowed and curled, between pavement and stars is the chimney sweep's world. where there's hardly no day, nor hardly no night. There's things half in shadow and halfway in light. On the rooftops of London. What a sight!
Joining the sweeps, are we?
Best view in the world, eh? Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiree. A sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo.
Good luck will rub off when he shakes hands with you.
Or blow me a kiss,
But
and that's lucky too. Oh, you're going then?
the wind has changed.
But they're good kids, Mary.
Would I be bothering with them if they weren't? But I can't help them if they won't let me.
So,
So it's time for them to do the next bit on their own. Cheerio, Bert. Keep an eye on them for me.
Where's Mary Poppins?
Gone.
Gone?
Mrs. Brill, what does au revoir mean?
Why?
Because that's what she's written in this note. Dear Jane and Michael, keep playing games. Au revoir, Mary Poppins.
It's French. It means till we meet again. Now come inside before you catch your death.
nowhere is there a more happier crew than them what sing chim chim cheree chim charoo. Chim chimney chim chim cheree chim charoo. The wind may blow, but who's to know exactly what it's bringing? Good news or bad, happy or sad, the pendulum keeps swinging. A gentle breeze that moves the trees becomes an icy blast. The warmth is gone, they struggle on, and now 6 weeks have passed.
Mrs. Brill, is the nursery tidy?
As tidy as I can make it, ma'am, seeing as how for the past 6 weeks I've had all the work to do looking after the children ever since she left. And now I've got all the work to do getting the house ready to welcome her back.
If only you knew how hard it was to track her down.
Really, ma'am? Fancy that.
Oh, George, you're going to be surprised.
Winifred, you know very well I hate surprises.
I do believe you're going to be proud of me. Hurry up, everybody. I want her to find everything spick, spot, spick, and span.
Spick and span.
Our sense of excitement is hard to contain.
Order is returning.
Wonder is returning.
Someone is returning
to Cherry Tree Land. Good morning.
The Holy Terror! Ah!
Miss Andrew, it's so lovely to meet you. I do hope you had a good journey. It was thoroughly unpleasant. Where did George go? I'm afraid he had an urgent appointment. It's not much of a house, is it? We like it. Then it doesn't take a lot to keep you happy. Look at the dust. There. And there. Filth.
And now just...
You must be the children. Pity. I don't suppose you know who I am?
Yes, we do. You're the Holy Terror.
Impudent boy! And you! Why aren't you wearing stockings?
I don't like them.
Tut! What manners! I can see there is not a minute to lose. These children have been spoiled. I've arrived here just in time. By chance, I've brought the punishment that best befits the crime. Brimstone, intrigue, and carbonic stone. These are the tools of my trade. For spoonfuls of sugar, you don't have a hope of seeing that changes are made. Open.
Does it taste as bad as it smells?
Worse, open. Your son will go to boarding school at once. As for the girl, I shall take charge of her myself. I won't stand for whining or whinging or whimpering, crying or lying or sobbing or simpering. I fear it's clear that in these two such bad habits lurk. First threaten to throttle, then uncork the bottle. Brimstone and treacle. Now show me to my grip.
I'm disappointed. I truly am. I thought it was going to be...
With the umbrella.
What are we going to do? The only thing we can't do. Run away.
What's the matter? And who's after you?
The nastiest nanny in the world.
Is she really as bad as all that?
She looks like something that would eat its young. Miss Andrew is Daddy's nanny, which explains a lot. Poor Daddy. Ever since he stopped working, he just sits and mopes. Mary Poppins used to say he needed our help, but now it's too late.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I tell you what, why don't we start things off with a bit of a shake, for good luck?
Why would shaking hands with you bring us luck?
Didn't anyone ever tell you? It's lucky to shake a chimney sweep sand.
Michael, look, it's a real one. What's the matter? You've always wanted to fly a proper kite. I've always wanted to fly one with Daddy.
Of course you have. But you need to know how it's done. Get some training in, and you'll make him the proudest father in the whole blooming empire, with tuppence for paper and strings. You can have your own set of wings. With your feet on the ground, you're a bird in flight, with your fist holding tight to the string of your kite. Oh, let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite. Reel it in.
I can't, it's stuck. I'll help.
You can do it. Pull one more time.
Don't squeeze. I'm not a sardine in a tin. And where are your coats?
We didn't have time to put them on.
Because we've run away.
Have you indeed?
It's been so awful since you left, and Miss Andrews come in Daddy's room, and we never helped him like you wanted
Oh,
us
my
to.
eye, but your life's a tragedy. Now, let's get home and don't dawdle.
But she's there. She came this morning as a surprise for Dottie.
Did she? Well, maybe I'll be a surprise for her. Hello, Bert.
Welcome, Mary. You're a sight for sore eyes.
You really are, Mary Poppins.
Now, let's get home.
Aren't you going to shake hands with Bart for luck?
I don't need any luck, thank you.
Like that, you stupid boy! You! Stay there and clean the grate. Again. So, you decided to come crawling back, have you? Who are you?
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins? But you left without notice.
And I've come back without a notice.
I see. And what did you expect me to do?
Pack.
Pack! You insolent young person! Brimstone and treacle, my favorite liquor. That will make Rhino way stop. Impudent children respond so much quicker, forced to drink every last drop. I brought up their father.
That I don't doubt. You must be so proud of the way he turned out.
A shining example, a pillar.
A post. They all have their problems, but him more than most. I recognize fully that you are a bully who views cruel deeds as a pack. Well, now here's the fact, because you've met the match.
Brimstone and treacle,
just a spoonful of sugar.
Brimstone and treacle,
just a spoonful of sugar. Brimstone and treacle,
brimstone and treacle.
Won't work. There, that's given a taste of her own medicine.
Mary Poppins, wherever did you come from?
She came from
Michael.
Michael, Jane, that was very naughty of you to go running off like that. I should be as angry as anything. If I weren't so pleased to see you. Where's Miss Andrew?
She's gone.
Gone? Why?
She didn't give a reason, ma'am.
Good evening, Mum. We found this one, wandering in the park. Good night, Mum.
George?
Where is she?
Miss Andrew? She left? George, Mary Poppins is back.
Oh, is she? Well. I wonder if I might, have a word? Things have not gone so well for us since you left us. And
About my wages, sir, if you don't mind, I shouldn't take any just now. I should prefer to let them accrue.
But if you only knew how many payments were accruing as it is...
Now must get started. Jane, Michael, spit spot.
Come along, dear, and After so many years of good service, you made one wrong decision. What's the worst that can happen?
Winifred, if I'm to be dismissed by the bank, we'll be destitute.
But we'll still have what really matters. The children. And each other.
Mary Poppins, is that locket new? What's inside it?
A portrait.
Whose?
You'll know when the time comes and not before.
Mary Poppins, you won't leave us, will you?
I'll stay until the chain breaks.
What chain? What?
Now wait and see.
Uncanny, nutty, hard to find.
Unique yet meek, unspeakably kind.
You're practically perfect.
And yet unsure. Just room for improvement. A few days more.
Hello. Bert, what are you doing up here?
Well, should a chimney sweep be?
The world is awfully big, isn't it?
And what does that tell you?
That we are awfully small and unimportant.
Oh, speak for yourself.
Not us so much, but our troubles. They seem so big down in the nursery, but up here...
That's more like it. Troubles are never so bad when you look at them from a little higher up.
Brush away the dirt and soot.
Brush away your tears.
Cobwebs that aren't swept away.
Hang around for years.
We may look a monkey through, smudged with tar and but when you need a helping hand, we try to step in, just in time. Over the rooftop, step in time. Over the rooftop, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Over the rooftop, step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Kick your knees up, step in time.
It's a step in time, everyone's the same.
Never essential to get it right. Don't to seem a perfect crime, don't to seem a shame. When the steps aren't going as smoothly as they might. Come on! That's when we step in time. That's when we step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. That's when we step in time. Make your elbow step in time. Make your elbow step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Make your elbow step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Kick your knees up, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Kick your knees up, step in time. Step in time. Step in time. Step. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Kick your knees up, kick your knees up, kick your knees up, kick your knees up. Step. Never need a reason, step in time.
And always remember, there's plenty of folk ready to help you should you need them. Back to the parlor.
Back to the parlor!
Back to the parlor, step in time. Back to the parlor, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Back to the parlor, step in time.
What's all this? What is all this?
Delivery for George Bates, Esquire.
Special delivery?
Special delivery, step in time. Special delivery, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Special delivery, step in time. Time to go now. Good night, governor. Good night, governor. Good night, governor.
1 second. Go to your room. Jane, you too. Mary Poppins, would you be good enough to explain?
First of all, I would like to make one thing clear.
Yes?
I never explain anything. Come along, children.
It's happened. The chairman wants to see me at the close of business tonight.
Tonight?
We might as well face it. In just a few more hours, I'll have joined the ranks of the unemployed.
Are you quite sure?
Quite sure. So we better make some plans. Well, I never. So that's where I put them.
What are they?
Gingerbread stars I once hid from my nanny. I used to dream that when I grew up I'd learn everything there was to know about stars. Funny. I hadn't thought about all that in years. I'm not usually sentimental.
It's good to look back sometimes.
It's that Mary Poppins woman. She's responsible for all this.
I know the person. What's that thing she's always saying? A spoonful of sugar, that is all it takes. It changes bread and water into tea and cakes. A spoonful of sugar goes a long, long way. So have yourself an healthy helping every day. Well, good luck, Governor.
Thank you, Bud. And good luck to you, too.
Daddy, do you remember when we came to the bank?
Yes.
Well, we were each given 6 pence, and we were told to use them wisely.
Excellent advice. What did you buy with them?
Nothing yet. And now we've decided to give them to you.
I suppose Mary Poppins put you up to this?
She hasn't said a word about it. We thought a bit of extra cash might loosen things up a little. Good night, Daddy. We do love you, you know. Mummy, Daddy's really worried, isn't he?
Yes, he is. But always remember that he loves you very much, and that's far more important than jobs or houses or anything else.
Are you going to the bank with him?
I would like to, but I'm afraid it just isn't possible.
Mary Poppins says anything is possible.
Do you really believe that, Mary Poppins?
Anything can happen if you let it. Sometimes things are difficult, but you can bet it doesn't have to be so.
Changes can be made. You can move a mountain if you use a larger spade.
Anything can happen, it's a marvel.
You can be a butterfly or just a larva.
Stretch your mind beyond fantastic. Dreams are made of strong elastic. Take some sound advice and don't forget it. Anything can happen if you let it. If you reach for the stars, all you get are the stars. But we've found a whole new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in.
tuppence a bag.
I would take it as a great favor if you would kindly feed them for me.
Thanks. You turned down a scheme that was bound to make millions, and we would like to know why.
Then I'll tell you why. I refused Mr. Von Hustler because the scheme was hollow. He told me about assets and profits and growth, but there wasn't a word about people. I apologize for ruining the bank, but I do not apologize for understanding that there are more important things in life than making money.
My dear chap, Von Hustler's scheme ruined our rival in the nastiest scandal since records began. We're not asking for your apologies. We're offering ours.
Oh, my word.
And another thing. Do you remember giving a loan to a fellow called Northbrook? Well, he's repaying the loan now and opening 2 new factories. And with the percent you negotiated, we look set to make a fortune.
Oh, my word.
Well, that's just it. We very much hope you'll tell us how you did it. Just, give us the word. It'll be quite safe with us.
Give you the word. Give you the word. I'll give you the word, all right? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Forgive him! It's not his fault, it's all because of his nanny, Miss Andrew!
The Holy Terror! Oh, she taught me everything I know!
Then now's your chance to forget it!
It's all right, darling. I've made the bank a fortune.
Really?
Yes. And by way of recompense, we'd like to offer you the job of senior manager with a salary at double.
Exactly how much has he made for you?
Triple, quadruple your present rate.
Close your mouth, George. We are not a codfish.
Well?
I accept. But you must understand one thing. From now on, my family comes first.
Agreed?
Agreed.
I'm afraid I underestimated you.
Oh, Georgie.
Anything can happen, it's official. You can choose the super or the superficial. Sally forth the way we're steering. Obstacles start disappearing. Go on, chase your dreams, you won't regret it.
Anything can happen if you let it.
I love you, Mary Poppins.
You're a fine boy, Michael Banks, and one day you'll be a fine man.
Oh, Mary Poppins, it makes me so anxious when you talk like that.
Like what?
All gentle and kind, not a bit like you, Mary Poppins. Do be cross again.
Is that the thanks I get for the trouble I've taken?
That's better.
Now into bed with the both of you.
It's tonight, isn't it?
Yes, Bert.
Well, goodbye then, Mary.
Goodbye, Bert. Look after yourself. In every job, when it's complete, there is a sense of bittersweet. The moment when you know the task is done. Though in your heart you'd like to stay, to help things on their way, you've always known they must do it alone. They're practically perfect, and I hope it remains so.
It's Mary Poppins' locket. Oh, the chain's broken. Don't you remember? I'll stay until the chain breaks. What's inside? It's a picture of the three of us. She signed it, "From Mary Poppins with a good deal of love."
Where's Mary Poppins?
Gone.
Gone. How peculiar.
Oh, she'll be back. Now, what do you think of this?
It's the best I've ever seen.
Can we fly together?
Oh, Daddy! Mary Poppins won't be coming back. She's gone forever.
My dear, how could you possibly know such a thing?
Because we don't need her. Not anymore. And other filmies will, won't they, Daddy?
They will.
George, I wonder if she's right. And we really could do without a nanny from now on. What do you think?
I think you better dance with me.
George, this is serious.
Look, a shooting star. We should wish on it.
Oh, I think we can do better than that. If you reach for the stars, all you get are the stars, but we found a whole new spin.
If you reach for the heavens,
You get the stars thrown in.
Anything can happen if you let it. Life is out there waiting, so go and get it. Grab it by the collar, seize it by the scruff. Once you've started living life, you just can't get enough. Anything can happen, it's official. You can choose the super or the superficial. Sally forth the way we're steering. Obstacles start disappearing. Go on, chase your dreams, you won't regret it. Anything can happen, anything can happen. Anything can happen. We won't forget you, Mary Poppins. We'll never forget. If you let.